I'm Michaela.
And I'm Milan.
And this is Unfiltered Uncorked.
Now you may be wondering, this isn't our usual setup. We are currently pet house sitting. I was going to say cat, but I said pet. So. Anyways, for Big Al.
For Big Al.
So we are in the comfort of Big Al's comfy, cozy home. It's really cute.
It is. It's like a little cottage in the country.
And you can there's like a pasture with like some cows.
Moo-moos.
So for this episode, like we had talked about last episode, we decided to do a low cost wine from the grocery store. So we have some Chianti that came all the way from the Isles of HEB. And how much was this wine?
$15 with some tax, closer to $16.
So I definitely feel like pretty good, easy budget.
Yeah.
After we talk about the wine, we're going to go into our book of the month. Since we didn't get into that with Allie because we wanted to really give her the spotlight and not rush her.
That she deserves.
This is definitely going to put me to bed after this. I have. So, little backstory about why I'm actually excited you picked this Chianti. It's because when I lived with my uncle, I don't know why, but whenever he found like a Chianti, he was like, we got to try it.
Okay.
We'd go to the store, Chianti, add it to the basket. And so I had a handful of Chiantis with my uncle. So Chianti, if y'all don't know, is a region in Italy. And it needs to be at least 75% Sangiovese. Sangiovese is the grape variety. And so let's see here. Tasting notes, you get a little bit like cherry, tomatoes, sweet balsamic. What else did it say? Oregano, espresso. And today we actually have it paired with what was supposed to be
what was it supposed to be?
It was supposed to be was it a caprese pasta salad? The basil was not really good.
No, we couldn't use the basil.
You can't eat that.
Something happened. So we made, what kind of pasta is this?
Orzo.
Orzo, thank you. And I cooked it. Milan got home. It was hot. She wanted it to be like a cold pasta salad, pretty much. Then she's like, oh, I'll just cool it down. In my mind, I thought to cool something down, she would just put it in the fridge, okay? Then, like, hour and a half goes by, and I hear, oh, shit, the pasta's in the freezer. So we had frozen pasta.
I had her de-thaw it, though.
Frozen pasta, I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of cooling down in the freezer.
Well, okay, so I thought we were going to start filming a bit earlier. I didn't realize it was going to take me a hot minute to read some more. Okay.
So it started off with some frozen pasta, but it's not frozen no more.
Yeah, the basil, unfortunately, was a no-go.
It was like
but we
rotten.
still have some burrata. We have some tomatoes.
Homegrown tomatoes from my mom in California in her garden.
Fun little fact about Chianti and Sangiovese is that it's because of the high acidity, it's the one wine that isn't overpowered by tomato sauce. Mm-hmm. The more you know. Okay, let's do this tasting. Aroma. Oh, I definitely smell that balsamic glaze. Oh!
How does that smell? I get the sweetness of the balsamic.
Sorry, I have a wine mustache.
You do. I kind of get some cherry.
I was gonna say like an over-ripened cherry.
Mm-hmm. Cherry, sweet balsamic. I don't know if I necessarily get roasted tomato.
No, I don't. I can smell the oregano. Because I was like kind of getting like earthiness, but
I was
also
getting the
baking
earthy.
spices. So I can see how like that connects, like oregano. Okay. Now,
Yeah, I don't get the.
appearance. I would say it's. Ah! No, sir, you can't have any of that. You eat the food that's on your table. I would say it's deep. Oh. That's deep. Color. Let me pull this bad boy out.
Let's get our charts out.
There's a lot of books around here. Sully, don't you even think about it. I would say it's like a tawny, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I was thinking tawny or ruby, but
So was I. I was going back and forth between ruby and tawny.
that's what I am too. Honestly, I feel like it's ruby because it's not as brown
But
as tawny is. You know what I mean?
yeah, well here. Yeah, I'd say ruby.
Ruby?
Yeah, it kind of like matches up. Like
Really good. Okay. Duration. I would say that's like long negative or medium plus. I'd say that's medium. Medium plus.
well, it does the 10-second rule like Allie was talking about, at least for me. But there's no medium plus.
We've been coming up with our own medium plus.
Oh, sorry.
Sully, don't you dare.
I'd say okay, med plus.
Ah.
Okay. Taste.
Taste.
Tangy, tart, soft, smooth, fresh, woody.
Tingly. Maybe tart?
I'd say tart.
Yeah. Well, it does have high acidity, so. Enjoyment.
It's not bad.
Not bad. I would say
Not my favorite.
slightly, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I'm slighted.
Slighted. Body. I would say it's more like medium.
Tannin, there's definitely tannin in there. There's definitely some tannin in there.
Acidity, definitely some acidity. Alcohol percentage. Oh, she wants your food. And here comes Sammy Ray. I don't know if she fits in the screen.
Since you're so good at guessing alcohol.
I wouldn't say I'm that good. 13.8, 7, 5. That 13.5 was my first one. I should have just stuck with my gut. And then I was like, maybe 7. I was like, I'm going to go up just a wee bit. Sweet. Definitely bone dry. Dry to the bone. Damn, tough crowd. Okay, cool.
Dry to the bone. That's what she sounded like. Remarks. What are your remarks? It's definitely.
Tart.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I necessarily would buy it again.
No.
I think maybe I'd cook with the rest of it.
15 buckaroonies. I'd give this
I mean, it's not bad.
rating 5.5.
Ooh, I was going 4.
I'm going to give it a 5.
I'll do 4.5. You get a 4.5.
Thought a phone was ringing. Okay.
It's just the voices inside your head.
Let's see here. What's some other info we found?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the grapes. No?
Okay, so the other notes that we took about Chianti, it's classified based on region, quality, and aging. I thought you didn't want any
I'm trying it because the Barada is amazing.
Okay. And it also suggests to be decanted for at least 30 minutes. Okay. Do you want to talk about
Yeah, I'd love to.
Vidi?
Mom, you did great on these tomato growings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the grape itself, the Sangiovese grape, it is thin-skinned, pale juice. Sangiovese actually is late ripening grape.
Dude, this is gas. Did you put the lemon? Taste it. Here, you know what? There you go. Basil would have hit it.
Basil would have hit. Shut up. Dude, we pulled it out of the fridge. It was brown, and I bought it yesterday.
Did you get the organic one?
No, I don't. This can be. I don't buy organic.
Okay, what else?
Do you?
What?
Do you buy organic? I don't.
No, I don't.
I know, Cali girl, right? It's high in acidity, high in tannins. And then also the grape is super, super sensitive. What? Oh, it is
She's staring at me.
super sensitive to the soils it's in. So a sandy soil, it's brighter, has more strawberry and raspberry flavors. Clay limestone soil, it has more of a dark cherry, plum, even fig. At the other winery that I worked at, we did a Sangiovese and we got some fig out of it.
Oh,
It was
nice.
like mainly like a fig Newton is what was like best described. And then altitude actually matters a lot. Higher vineyards keep the fruit more fresh and red. That's what I've learned.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
Oh, I forgot to take a sip in between.
Dude, this shit is fire.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking you back to Italy, folks. Cheers to Italy.
That's so nice and crisp. Paired together, meh.
Mm.
It might be
The
better.
tomatoes are better.
Oh yeah, I think it needs to be like red tomato.
You're
With this.
dissing on the tomato.
No, I'm not dissing on no tomato. I'm saying this would probably pair better with a red tomato.
Yeah, these are pretty sweet. These are sweet tomatoes for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, let's get into our book.
Yeah.
So, it's been a couple weeks since we talked about the book, and we talked about chapters 1 through 4, which, as you guys remembered, was boring. But once it hit chapter 5,
Things got interesting. It really picked up.
it really did.
Okay. So something that I found pretty cool were that winemakers would smoke their casks with brimstone. And what that was is they would gently lower a burning rag dipped in sulfur and hope to produce a brighter, clearer wine. Which I thought was cool. And it said like that was the start of, like they were onto something, right? Because we still use sulfur today.
I agree. Now we kind of use it though for, I can't think of like the exact word, but like shelf quality, like shelf life quality. You know, back in the day, you had to kind of drink a wine within like a certain span of time, and now you can keep it in a bottle, if obviously like temperature controlled space for years. And so, like, I know for, like, some reds that you can keep it up for, like, 35 years, 30 years.
Yeah. It said that winemakers today still rely on sulfurs as antiseptic qualities to prevent the natural bacteria at work from taking over and ruining the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, like you were saying, preventative.
Mm-hmm.
It's a preventative for many wines.
Let me see. So one of the things that I highlighted at first, go ahead, was also, it was kind of jumping back to like the previous chapters. Is this one quote says, "Trade was not the same thing as craft," and I kind of want to like go back over like highlighting that, you know, that's exactly, trade was not the same thing as craft, and so like a lot of them were selling them, but they weren't making them, and so she really wanted to be hands-on. And so she did go and help with the winemaking and, you know, in the vineyards, and she really wanted to be hands-on. And I think that's also kind of what helped her become such a great businesswoman, is knowing kind of everything that went on behind the scenes. Because I feel like a lot of people don't really know what goes into it. Winemaking is probably one of the most expensive alcohols to make and time-consuming. Patience is definitely something that's really big. So, and then also kind of jumping back to that one episode that we were talking about, you know, making wine and selling wine, it definitely goes hand in hand. So I think when I was like going out and selling wine to these like restaurants and hotel people, it was great to be able to say that I had background, like I helped make some of this wine, or I had a hand in making wine. And so it also kind of helped when it came to like
selling
knowing how to talk about each wine and like
and
the
I
facts
feel like
behind
it also gives you the perspective of being able to value that wine in a sense of like,
yes,
and I feel like some people don't necessarily get that, and like from a consumer standpoint, you definitely don't get that unless you're like in it and you are a wine connoisseur and you can really appreciate it. But to be able to value it, I think that first like will get you to where like being able to sell wine is pretty quickly or pretty easy for you, know.
Yeah.
With all the knowledge that you have, but like it definitely, I feel like you value it more.
I 100% agree, because I definitely feel like now after working a couple harvests, I definitely look at wine a lot differently, and it's not just something that I can go and, you know, just get trashed on. It's like I savor everything. I take tasting any form of wine very seriously, and because I know like people are putting hours, days, months, years into a singular bottle of wine.
Correct, yeah. And the appreciation.
And then like honestly, like right now, like one of my biggest pet peeves is we have to give tours to practically anybody and everybody that walks through those doors, and
That's like
it's very rare, very, very rare. But something that upsets me is that I'm going and taking my time to educate on something that not only that I've put a lot of work into, but something I truly care about. And none of them listen. Some of them will answer phone calls in the middle. Some of them will talk over me. And then like some just want to take
50,000 million cameras that they have in their hands.
Yes. And then like some of them will just like take their camera and just put it right in my face. And I'm like, I don't really care if you like take a video discreetly, but please like don't shove it in my face. Also, most of the time I look like a gremlin at work. I don't think you want me in your videos.
Because like I think of it like if I were going to a different country or a winery and seeing their production facility like that, like of course I'm taking pictures and videos of it because I find that very fascinating. But I wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be able to just go up to the person and like in your face. And I finally, for the first time, like just on my like tableside guac table,
she has to push a cart around with wine on it and give it out to people
as a complimentary tasting.
Yeah.
But
God.
So someone had asked, they were taking a picture of it. And when I see that they're going to take a picture of it, I purposely like push the cart this way and step out of it. I'm like, here, you want a picture of the mini barrel and the cart and all that. Here, let me set it up nice. And then I just move a couple glasses and then I'm like, here, I'll step out of it so you can take a picture of it. But not one person has been like, hey, is it okay if I take a picture of this or whatnot?
Want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
This couple was sitting at a table. They bring a phone stand, as in the one that we use to video.
Okay.
Sets it completely across the room, in between two other tables. And we had to go up and tell them, like, you can't do this. Like, you can't do this one. You are in a public area. There are other guests and customers. Like, they may not feel comfortable in your video. And you're blocking the way, like, where these people sit.
Yeah, what the heck?
It was, I mean, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, do you not have any, like, decency? Like, have you not been out in public before? But, yeah.
And also in a tasting room?
Well, okay, so we're in Texas. A lot of the people out here have never truly been to actual tasting rooms.
That's very true.
Because this couple that are in our wine club, they're nice. We closed maybe 30 minutes early. It was like a Monday or a Thursday, and no one had come in for like the past 2 or 3 hours. And so we closed up shop. Mm-hmm. And they came in 30 minutes right before we were supposed to close, and they go, you closed early? I go, well, we haven't had anyone for the last couple hours, and we closed in 30 minutes, so yeah. And they're like, I wish you guys stayed open later. And I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, like, I wish you guys stayed open until 7. I was like, well, we would have closed early anyways if we stayed open until 7. She says, well, I mean on like a Saturday. I was like, well, we do kind of base it on other wineries. So like in California, I told her, and like in California, they don't like 6 o'clock that's late. They close at 4 or 5 p.m. I was like, it's a day thing. And they're like, she's like, oh, didn't know that. So like a lot of these people like don't actually know.
And like another thing though, like what was cool is when I was in my wine club for professional certificate class, they were talking about like why they close early. Because if they were to stay open, everyone just would be trashed. And so like what they did is they would stop tours early by like 1 o'clock. You couldn't do a tour after that.
Nice.
You can't because, I mean, it's a little different than it is at where we work because there's wineries like everywhere you go in the wine country. But they're like by 1 o'clock, people are fucked up. Like they are so wasted that it's pointless. You're just now became a liability to do anything with, and we don't want your money type of thing. And I was like, that's actually a really good point.
And like honestly, like I kind of wish we stuck with that because it is a liability to take some drunk people on a tour of the production facility. Like I can only give so much of a warning, but if you're drunk as heck, like you're not gonna listen.
That's facts.
Yeah. Another line to go off of that previous line though, is they relied on Luis because he was the one who knew what the customers wanted, and I definitely think that plays like a huge role in like going out, asking what people like, and then bringing it back to the winemakers so they know how to kind of match the trends.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. You want me to go? Or
You
go
go
again?
You can go.
Okay. This was pretty cool. They were talking about the cloudiness of the wines. Yeah.
How was my next one?
It said, I wrote down that usually cloudy wines, the problem was the suspended tannins in yeast cells, and their solution was a collie made of egg whites or bone marrow gelatin. And they also sometimes use milk, cream, or blood, which is crazy.
I like slightly remember learning this in my enology class, and this was like the original filtration method.
That's insane. So I also wrote down that the collie acts as a positively charged chemical magnet, attracting the negative wayward particles and gathering them in a big mass that will settle to the bottom of the barrel when chilled.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy cool.
Right? Oh, so my next line that I found was like actually the next page right after we found that one, is that one of the reasons why champagne is one of the most expensive. Well, okay, I guess it's not like one of the most expensive products, but it says like it's the most time-consuming and expensive process, is because when you're doing it like the old school way, you need to have a good eye. So it says there's a trick and having a good eye to track the sediment, and an excellent thumb, capable of stopping up the bottle fast before all the wine poured out onto the floor in an expensive puddle.
For the disgorgement.
I don't think I could.
My boss did it. So we did when we disgorged our pet nat. We used this method.
Oh, I thought you were trying to grab my hand. I was like, here you go.
No, we used the disgorgement method, and she
was good.
so good.
Dude, it would probably just like spill out.
One time we overfroze it accidentally,
Oh, no.
and so she like had it set up like on the table, and we were just waiting for it to slowly just pop up, and I was not paying attention because I was at a different station, and she's like, we had 6 bottles up there we overfroze. Well, then just out of nowhere they pop, and she's like, Michaela, come here. And so she's like this, and she already has 2 in her hand, like her thumbs over them. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So I just go like this. Like, if this is the bottle, I went like this. But the power was too much, so it was like slanted like this.
No.
So, and she was like right next to me, and I went like this, and it just went straight in her face. She's like, she's like, Michaela, what the heck? And I was like, what? I got it. And then I like look at her, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get it.
You did not, in fact, get it.
She's like, you are never doing that again. I was like, okay, sounds good. I'm dead. Like, okay, cool.
That was so funny.
But yes, it takes some real talent.
Right? And then it says they go bottle by bottle, disgorging the champagne. So definitely time consuming and expensivo.
Yeah, because of all the wasted wine.
Yeah. And then also like another thing that goes in hand with making sure you have a good eye is like one of the things about like making great wine and great champagne in particular, it was how skillful you were in blending and like making sure that those blends turned out nicely and like actually like worked together. And then like also like it said right after, Dom Perignon may not have invented champagne, but he was a pioneer in the art of blending. So I thought that was pretty cool insight.
That is pretty cool.
So like something else that kind of popped out to me was more of like a good like viticulture harvest insight. They talked about the chalky and acidic soil in the region that kind of helps develop the aromas of the fruit. Let's see here. And then something that Michaela and I had to cross check was vintage years.
We went back and forth on this.
Okay, so basically when you're looking at different, I guess, like harvest jobs, sometimes they'll say like 2025 vintage, 2026 vintage. But vintage also means like, could also mean like a really, really good harvest year. And so
for certain varietals.
Okay, yes. So
that's what like makes it a little different is like 1810, right? That's the year.
It was 1811.
1811
Yeah,
is the
really
the year
though.
of the comet, though, right?
Yeah.
The comet
in
year.
the 18th century.
And that's like a really good vintage.
It was a good vintage, but in here it said they lost 90% of their champagne when the wine exploded because it would get. That was also one of the years that they got really, 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 really hot. Or, yeah, they got really, really, really hot.
Every year is like that for me. I get really, really hot. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I agree. And this like one winemaker said his cellars were so toxic from the fumes of the spilled wine. I was like, oh, you poor man. They couldn't go in for months. I thought this was actually really cool. All wine has a distinct bouquet, which chemist tells us in the result of a dizzying array of volatile compounds. These compounds are volatile because they react with one another and with the air, and their aromas are largely responsible for the experience of taste we have when we drink a glass of wine.
That's cool.
Right? So yeah, I thought that was like a little bit cool. Also, talking about, I think something that we talk about is how wine consumption has unfortunately dropped, but I also feel like it has to do with like generations and I feel like our generation is definitely not. You taking your socks off?
Yeah, sorry.
Our generation is definitely, not really drinking, and then like the generation in between us and our parents have started like this whole like health conscious.
Well, yeah, 100% health conscious. And like I was listening to this podcast where they were talking about our generation as well within the industry. And they were saying that our generation cares a lot more about sustainability and the practices they use within the winery, which was never as prominent as it is now.
Yeah.
And how we how you treat your employees and all that kind of thing. Like our generation cares more about that. And a big like fad, I'd say, or trend right now is like non-alcoholic alcohol beverages.
But like, why even spend the money on that?
I don't know. I don't understand it either.
Like,
but
drink water.
Like, at that point, go put some Mio in your water.
Literally. So like, kind of bouncing off of that is, so in France, sales in France back then, like 1804, 1803, was a mere 7% of their sales, down from nearly 25%. And so I did some research on now, and under consumption, the lowest level fell in 2024 at 3.3% since 1961. The wine drinking level has dropped to 3.3%.
Oh, crap.
In 2024, and that's the lowest since 1961. Production has fallen 4.8% in 2024, and mainly because people are health conscious.
And I feel like a lot more people just need to do some freaking research.
I agree.
Like,
but also
look
like,
it up.
I feel like a lot of people, not mean to call people out, a lot of people say like they're health conscious, but like half of the things they do daily are not very health conscious.
Yeah, and they're also sitting on their freaking couch watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, eating a bag of Doritos. Like, come on. Sorry. We're having
like eating like
some
a handful,
dirt bombs,
like
or
eating
something.
like, but like also like if you eat healthy and you're eating a handful of almonds and call it a meal, like that is not healthy whatsoever.
No, it is not.
Like, be so for real.
Be so for real. That's our generation. Be so for real.
What else did I say? Okay, let's check.
So really, our generation's kind of skewing the industry.
Yeah. Oh, I found a little quote. It says, "When the summer arrived, it was wet." Texas.
Honestly.
That's
Yes.
Texas. That is literally Texas. So,
Be so for real.
Oh! It talked about Francois' death.
Oh, Francois, yeah.
Yeah, so he apparently possibly died of typhoid.
Yeah.
Which apparently had
Oh,
possibly...
this is cool.
Right. Which
Get
apparently,
into it.
according to said doctor back in the day, wine could have cured typhoid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did we do any research of it now? No.
No.
But we thought it was cool that they said that, like, the doctor had said, or...
They had done some research on it 2 weeks after
he died.
and they said that it would have cured him.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Aw. Sully's not happy. It also said that his funeral was in the freaking Notre Dame.
Uh-huh.
Notre Dame de Reims.
The Notre Dame.
Notre Dame de Reims. Hi, Sully. You
This
back
is
in-
Sully. I want some.
Oh, and it said that it, the cruel irony was that there's possible antiseptic properties in champagne.
So drink your champagne. Talk about being healthy.
Yeah.
Health conscious.
Drink your wine, folks.
So you don't get typhoid.
Yeah. Don't get typhoid.
Don't get
We're
typhoid.
warning you now. Drink your wine.
Okay, let's keep the privates private. What's funny?
Oh, the doctor. This is also part that I thought was the doctor that figured this out was the brother-in-law of Jean-Remy Moet.
Oh,
Her number one competition, Mr. Moet.
they don't.
Oh, I really liked this quote that was in a book. And it says, Champagne, if pure, is one of the safest wines that can be drunk. In typhoid fevers and weakness and debility, when there's deficiency of the vital powers, there's nothing which can take its place. It enables the system to resist the attacks of intermittent and malignant fever. Drink your champagne.
Mic drop.
Drop the mic. Back in the day, that's when like Catholics were banned in France, no? Because didn't they get a Catholic wedding in their cellar?
Mm-hmm. Wait, we also.
He was buried in sacred Catholic ground. Which I thought was interesting because they were practically banned. Also, Francois was bipolar as hell. Let's be so for real. Anyways.
He died.
Yeah, he died a wee bit. Also, something I thought was really stinking cool. On February 10th of 1806, for those of you who don't know, my birthday is February 10th.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, on the day of my birth, but back in 1806, was the birth of a business partnership. And that's when she partnered up with some dudes who had some money to put some money into her winemaking. You getting comfy over there?
It took him about a good 10 minutes. We're down for the count now.
But yeah, so I thought
That's
it was
really cool.
I thought, yeah.
Your day is special.
My day is special. Yeah, so she had some trouble. That's kind of what it talked about. She had some trouble. They really, back in the day, they never really cared about how it tasted, but that it was clear and sparkling, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Honestly, I feel like that kind of still happens today.
Yeah. True.
Like, there is a lot of champagne that is just for popping and bubbles.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Emily in Paris. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I apologize.
Where the champagne was gross, but they were marketing it as like it's to celebrate with, to shake and buy the champagne because it has the best bubbles. Like,
that's true. Champagne is only made in Champagne region of France. You can't put champagne on a bottle of bubbly unless it came from the Champagne region of France.
okay. No one got that. One more time, a little bit slower.
Champagne is made only in the Champagne region of France. Today, the region is limited to 323 classified villages, and everything from the dates of the harvest to the pruning of the vines is strictly controlled.
America, it's called.
Sparkling wine? Or you
Because
it's not grown in the Champagne region of France. Duh, I just said that.
there's your lesson today, folks.
Let's see here. Oh, Luis was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, this dude was, because they found some of the correspondence he sent to what's her bucket, Barb, and he was just.
Well, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's dig in. He was stuck in Russia
He was stuck in Russia.
because of the war going on, the French Revolution. No.
Well, it was Napoleon. Napoleon stopped France from allowing to sell to other countries other than the people of France. But then also because of the war, all the ports were closed.
Correct. And
Napoleon.
like the little man. You know he was little, right?
He was little?
Yeah, he was little. He literally is like, you know when you see a massive truck and you're like, big dick gets your energy.
Yeah.
And it's like a little guy that gets out of it.
He has to jump out of it.
He has to have one of those 3-step stools to get in. Yeah, that's Napoleon.
Oh my god. That's so funny. Oh. Going back to the whole sales. This one really stuck out. In the luxury wine market, she was already learning that name recognition meant everything.
Facts, branding.
Oh, something else that back then they didn't have labels.
Oh, yeah.
They had corks and they had brandings of corks. Like on the cork they branded, or they branded like a symbol on the bottle. No, it was just the corks because that's all they had that they could brand. And the color of the wax seal was also something to distinguish which winery it came from. And hers symbol was an anchor. And so apparently still to this day, like certain bottles, you might still be able to see the anchor.
Another thing that we had talked about in chapters 1 or in some chapters, that the storage and like the bottles themselves were all handmade. Like they were all blown. And that's why the wine was going bad all the time, because it wasn't the same. Each bottle wasn't the same. Like this is a very uniformed Bordeaux bottle, and every cork you put in it is going to fit essentially. And they couldn't cork the champagne bottles because the hole was different every time. Like every pot, it reminded me of like pottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like every pot you throw is not going to be the exact same unless a machine did it.
There was something I had to go off of that. So she used the anchor. The anchor signified, I believe it said hope. The corks that she had branded on her corks at that time was that of the comet. It was the 1811 where they had like the comet, said it's like good bring luck, but also the symbolism of the comet insignia branded on the end of each of her corks in that year's vintage. A comet is said by those who worked in the vineyards and the fields to prophesy the end of Napoleon's empire. Mm-hmm. And he was drinking wine with that comet cork and he fell. He was kaput. His reign was over. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 1811 was like the best vintage.
Yeah, they had been keeping it. And so like something that I thought was cool was it said that the Russians had took over the Champagne region. And so this is when Nicole kind of started freaking out, is when the Russians were coming. Because her brother-in-law, I think it was, or something, had a textile factory and it had got
looted.
Destroyed. Yeah, it was looted, all this stuff. So they were...
Sorry.
It's cool. They were scared. So she like locked her cellar with this vintage in it because it's the best vintage she had. And they were all really scared. And then the Russians came into Champagne. And then essentially what had happened was the leader had said...
The Prince of Russia.
Mm-hmm. Had said no looting, like made it an order. And that if they wanted anything, they had to buy it, right? So all these Russians were on her front doorstep, let's say, and were buying her wine. And this entire time, she's been trying to get her wine
to Russia
to sell.
They literally came to her door.
She was like freaking out. She's like, oh my gosh, I have all these Russians right here on my front doorstep. Well, so in the French Revolution, right? So everyone's getting drafted and all this stuff. Well, all these men are salesmen from Russia. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. They'll go back to Russia once the war is over and they'll talk about my wine and then I can sell it. And then they all died.
Yeah.
The French came and killed them all, which was sad for her. So then she was kind of upset. But then they were talking about how she needed her land protected, like the vines, all of that. She needed it protected by the French. So in order to protect it, she had to give them champagne and glasses to drink the champagne. That was her payment. But they couldn't hold the champagne glasses as they're riding their horses. So the legend says that they were given the bottle and they would use their swords and saber the bottle. And that's where we get sabering bottles.
I thought that was like really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was super, super cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And that's where it all started. The legend says. That's where it was all.
Legend says.
Legend says.
You never know. Something else that I thought was cool was under French law, vintage champagne today are aged for a minimum of 3 years. Some of the finest are aged as long as 7 or 8. And like also right here it says that sparkling wines generally went to market 2 years after. Okay, so it started off 2 years after harvest. Sparkling wine would hit the market, and then it kind of on French law changed, and so it changed to 3 years. So I thought that was cool because I feel like now you're seeing sparkling wine coming out in months from when they're harvested. Let's see here. She went through some hardships during the war, and with like her sales, like she wasn't doing too good with her sales.
Correct.
And then
She made a tricky decision.
she made probably one of the riskiest decisions she's ever made. And
Very risky also just back then,
Yeah.
making a decision like that.
I agree,
For your
especially
business.
As someone who was already struggling to begin with. And so basically what had happened was no one was allowed to sell outside of France. Ports were closed. It was illegal. She secretly shipped wine out with Luis to these different countries, and apparently he scored gold. He was able to
did.
sell bottles for today. It was 5.5 francs, and in today's money, compared to like back then, it'd be the equivalent of $100 a bottle.
bottle.
And they said they made like in today's $1 million in just a few weeks. So I thought that was really stinking
And
cool.
he got off the port, so he went with it. He went with the wine.
Sully is currently playing with her toy.
Sammy.
She called it the greatest gamble of her career. Because not only did she do it once, but she did it twice. Because not only did she want to be the first one there, but when
Yeah.
everyone started finding out about it, she wanted to be the second to get her foot in the door because she didn't want to miss that opportunity.
Yeah, and Luis was like writing back to her and was saying like, I got off the ports and these men just were running.
Like swarming
him because he was like, I'm getting bored of trying to haggle this wine because he could sell it for as high as he wanted. That's how prominent her wines were in Russia.
And they said that they loved how sweet it was. Like sweet like nectar is what they said in the book. So yeah, I think that's chapters 5 through 9. Talk about 5 through 9. I also wanted to point out, I bedazzled my book. Okay, so now that we're done talking about chapters 5 through 9 of the book and what we thought was super cool, and I've actually gotten to start to read a little bit of the next couple chapters, and it's getting pretty cool. Getting pretty interesting, I will say.
I agree.
Learning a lot.
Okay.
Now we have a game to see if our twin telepathy powers.
They're pretty sharp at work.
So we got to see if they work now.
So what we'll be doing is we'll think of a word, we'll say it, and then we'll try to connect those two words, find a word that connects them into one word, and try to guess the same, or say the same word at the same time.
Okay, let me think of a word. Do you have your word already?
Okay, ready?
Steady.
1, 2, 3. Burrata.
Dog. That's gonna be hard.
Dog and cheese. Wow. Burrata and dog. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. House.
Pizza.
I sure as heck hope not you're getting dog pizza.
Well, dogs like to eat pizza. There's cheese on pizza. Sausage. Sometimes you call sausage a dog. You could put sausage on your pizza.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oven.
Restaurant. Restaurant oven. Restaurant oven. Restaurant oven. Restaurant oven. Restaurant oven. Ready? No. Give me a second.
Restaurant
You
oven.
sounded like a little kid.
Restaurant. Restaurant oven.
Restaurant oven.
Restaurant and oven.
Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Eliza.
Domino's. Eliza, that was actually really good. We love Eliza. Okay. Eliza and Domino's. Okay, I have an idea. I
have one.
I got one.
I have one.
I got one.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Lunch.
Flatbread.
I was gonna say flatbread too, but then I went with lunch.
Okay, lunch, flatbread, lunch, flatbread. Ready? Ready? Are you ready? I think so. 1, 2, 3. Prosciutto.
Margarita.
Okay. Margarita and prosciutto. Are you ready? Maybe. 1, 2, 3. Pesto. Yeah. Eat that.
I think our twin telepathy works.
Just takes 5 years. Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
1,
1, 2, 3.
Book.
Wine. Dude, don't even test me right
Which
now.
one are we saying though? 1,
2, 1. Remember, only one word.
Oh, shit.
So think. You got this.
What was the words again? Wine and book?
1, 2, 3.
Clicquot.
Champagne. Damn it! Damn it! Okay.
With champagne, Clicquot.
Ready?
That. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Widow. Yes. Okay, folks. This is the end of episode 5. As always, follow, show a friend, a family, a foe, show everyone you know. That rhymed.
Wherever you go.
Wherever it snows. That's the only word I can come up with.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think. Ask us questions. What should we talk about? What do you want to hear about? We want to know. Is there a certain country you want to learn about? Certain wines you want us to try? Certain wines you want to try with us?
Yeah.
Let us know.
We love having guests. The more the merrier.
And if you want the recipe for our what started out frozen pasta salad, let us know. It was really good.
Yeah, it turned out really good. From where it started and where it ended, fantabulous. We can even put the updated one of what it's supposed to have in it. Yeah, we'll post about that. Website's going to be up soon.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
So stay tuned. Okay. So keep an eye out for next episode. We'll be talking about a bold red.
Yeah, from my hometown winery.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
me too. And talking a little bit more about the book. Oh yeah.
Don't forget, folks.
Stay unfiltered, stay uncorked, and remember, sip happens.
You just whacked the fuck out of my wine glass. You said, fuck yeah, cheers.